I don't eat at McDonald's.
I don't either, but I want the list. Okay, let's use a Coke. You drink Coke?
I do drink Coke.
Okay, so back when Coke first came out, and it was a nickel.
Yeah, a nickel.
You could take a nickel and get a Coke.
I pay like $2 for a Coke.
I know, and so here's the thing. Do this real quick, people. Don't get in awe by the grocery stores.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why. The same thing you're buying now that they're still presenting to you is not the same thing you bought when you were younger. Let me give you a prime example. Back in the 90s or in the 80s, you can get 15 ounces. I'm using this. You can get 15 to 18 ounces of cereal for $1.
For $1, yeah.
You're getting less cereal now, and the prices are up.
Yeah.
Because that's how inflation works.
Yeah.
Right now, everything around you is going up. You just don't see it because companies have found ways to make boxes thinner, trick you with the ounces and the size. Don't pay attention to the price. Pay attention to the ounces. Because if I give you less food for the same price, you're spending more money.
Yeah, for less product.
You're spending more money. So inflation goes up every single year about 2% on average. So if your job isn't giving you that raise every year, then you are slowly falling behind to the silent income killer of inflation because it's killing you silently.
Yeah.
You don't see it, but you do see it. But you don't see it, and so you don't notice it. 30 years later, that same dollar you used in 2018 is going to be worth 50 cents.
50 cents.
And it all goes back to what you talked about last week with the gold standard.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons they took us off the gold standard so they can hyperinflation. Without calling it hyperinflation.
Hey. Hey, if schools would teach economics, okay, I'll say this. If schools would teach real economics.
Yeah, real economics. Well, instead of theories.
Instead of theory. Because I don't want to get off on a tangent, but I have an issue with the liberal arts education. It sounds good, to have, the ability to, take a class in whatever subject that you like. That sounds good, but that's really not essentially what college is for. College is meant. Well, I'll say this. The way it was presented to me.
Okay.
Let's go
here. Let's go here.
That's not how college was presented to me. I remember the first time I ever heard or thought about college was in the 5th grade. It was like, class, you're going to go to college. You're going to learn about, whatever profession that you want to be. You say you want to be a doctor. You're going to go to medical school. You want to be a lawyer. You're going to go to law school. You want to be, XYZ. You're going to go to that particular, specialize in that. Well, lo and behold, Josh Rucker graduates in 2008, and he runs up to, Arkansas State or whatever. At that time, I was going to be a therapist, and they have a pretty good counseling program up there. Shout out to A-State. And so what I noticed was that's not, you didn't get into your specialty until your junior or senior year.
But even then, most people are like, so that specialization could have been applied to the old economy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what yeah.
Now we're in a new economy, and in a new economy, the things that used to work don't work as well anymore. Now you still got foundational stuff that's there, but now you don't need the same specializations. Now you probably need people specialize in technology, or specialize in. Or go get a 2-year degree versus a 6-year, 8-year degree. Yeah. So in capitalism, the way that you continue to educate, school. Let me say school because it's a difference.
We don't think we're getting educated.
The way that you continue to school the masses is by still preaching the same doctrine you were preaching 40, 50 years ago. And it doesn't fit anymore. And that is what's holding a lot of people back because they're trying to fit a circle into a square, or is that right? A square into whatever.
Either way. It don't fit.
They're trying to fit it in there and force it, and it just doesn't work anymore.
Now that we say that, I think you can put a circle inside a square.
But it's a square you can't put inside a circle.
You can't put a square inside
a circle. You know what I meant, though. Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah,
so I was over here just... So Josh is throwing shade today. But it's cool. I take it. I take it wholeheartedly.
You throw shade on me.
I do. You give me back. I take it. Guess Josh. I always get Josh with his... Yeah, you always know why. But, so... You said educate. You said education. See, I look at words now more. I don't get caught up on I can look at words and meaning. Mm-hmm. So educate means, the word educate is derived from the Latin word educo, meaning to educe or to bring out. So we're not being educated, the masses are not, because nothing is being brought out.
Yeah.
We're just trying to keep everything in so you won't say nothing.
Oh, that's heavy, bro. That's heavy. That's heavy.
My pathology friend over here, my financial pathology friend over here, I got him today a little bit.
God, okay, read the definition.
So the definition of educate, it's in my memory. It's from, the educate is derived from the Latin word educo, meaning to educe or to bring out.
To bring out.
So my job as an educator is to bring out, and we do this on Wealth Effect for a reason. We want to bring out things that you learn. We want that to manifest itself into this dimension. Now we not gonna get
that. We not man.
But we want to bring it out. We want to bring it out. But being schooled is I want to keep everything in you that I put in you so it'll never come out. It's like you want to hide stuff.
Yeah.
Within the person, like, nah, don't bring that out. The world don't need that.
No. That's crazy. I never looked at it like that.
Yeah, shout out to Kevin.
Shout out to Kevin.
Dang, that's real egotistical, but oh well.
Hey,
yeah. So let's get back to the reason why we here. So we got we went over two things. First one was taxes. Second one was inflation. The third killer, or the third thing that's keeping you broke, is simply, this is a very simple one, but is debt. Debt is keeping you broke. So the first third you give to taxes. The second third of that money goes to inflation, and the last third goes to debt. So that's 99%, but that's 100% of your money.
How I'm supposed to eat?
By understanding those three things and doing something about them.
Because
we said 4. We're gonna get to the fourth one later, which is great. But this next one, which is debt, is actually the thing that's keeping you broke. We live in what's called a wealth debt society. So you either have people in debt or you got people that's wealthy.
Dang, ain't no middle ground.
The middle ground is using debt to your debt as a tool. Most people don't do that, but we'll talk about that on another episode. Yeah. And that's why credit is so important.
Credit,
but you have to learn how to leverage debt. But that's another podcast. So people that's in normal debt, they just go out and they get loans and they borrow.
Yeah.
And so anytime you're borrowing anytime there's a percentage rate involved, that means that someone is giving a loan.
Yep.
I want you to understand that even with investing, if it's a percentage rate involved, that means that someone is getting a loan. So you're loaning money to the companies to use to make more money with. So they're going to give you a percentage back.
Yeah.
That's how you reverse the scenario. But majority of people are living in debt, which they're being used as a debt person, per se, where they make money off of you.
Let's call it what it is. You're a debt slave.
You're a debt slave. You're a slave to debt slave. And so the average person now is going to go into about $250,000 worth of debt before they turn age 30.
Whoa!
I know that's a big fact.
Whoa! Before 30? I'm 28.
Before 30. Now I'm gonna run this down with you, so you can understand the magnitude of what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So when you're in school and you're told to go get a good education, and you're gonna get a good education so you can find a good job, right?
Find a good job. That's what I was told.
When you're in high school, you just told me this. They told you to go where?
They told me to go to college.
So the average person in America does not have college paid for, so they have to get what's called student loans. Student loans. So student loans, you're going into debt with that because there's interest attached to it, and you're paying the interest. So most people have student loan debt, and we know that's an epidemic right now.
I believe the
average student loan debt.
We in the trillions.
Yeah, trillions total, but I think the average person, and look, I don't know this for a fact. Matter of fact, let me check. I'm gonna fact check.
Let's fact check.
So the wealth indicator for today. This is the wealth indicator. Average student loan debt.
I believe.
Average student loan debt. The average student loan debt is about $37,000. That's the average. Now, to get to that average, so that's a wealth indicator, 37,000.
37,000.
There's 37,000 people with just student loan debt. And we're going to do a whole podcast of student loan debt, but there's 37,000 people with this average student loan debt is 37,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
So
man.
That's the first, I said before 30, right?
Yeah.
That's the first first amount. Now, me personally, I have a lot more than that. That's why it says the average.
Yeah.
I have around $100,000.
Yeah, me too.
Only because I went to school to get all the education I could.
Yeah,
and I was getting school. I went to school to get educated, but I got schooled.
Hey.
Okay, let's see.
You live and you learn.
You do. So 37,000. So 37,000. Let's add that. The next debt that people get, because they're not gonna walk to school, they're gonna drive.
Yeah,
it's a car note.
It's a car note.
So they're gonna have a car. The average car is around $10,000. Let's say 10, 15,000.
We'll call it 15.
15,000. So 15,000 plus 37,000. You are now in 47,000. Another 5 carried 1. You're about $50,000 worth of debt.
Yeah.
So you have 50,000 now.
Yeah. Whew.
Now most people saying, Kevin, where you gonna get this other, whatever amount?
150,000.
I said 250.
Yeah, 200.
So let's look at this. So you went to school, you got a car, you graduated. Most people want to start a family or move into a big house. Now,
you know what's crazy? I'm house shopping.
Hey, how old are you?
Hey, look. Hey, this podcast got a whole lot more real right to it.
Because I want you to understand we have to understand where we're living.
Yeah.
But look, it's not a mistake that you're house shopping before 30.
Yeah.
Because,
man, look, I know where you're going. I know where you're going, and I'm so excited. I can't even sit still. Okay, go on, Kevin.
It's not a mistake. And if I don't hit this point, you can hit it.
Man.
If I get you locked in before you're 30, you get locked in what's called a mortgage.
Yeah.
Which the root word of that is morgue.
Morgue.
That means till death.
Till death.
So the goal of a mortgage is to keep you in debt till death.
What's the average lifespan?
70, 80 years old. Ooh. So 70 for men and I think 80 for women. And that number's going up, but that's about right.
Yeah.
So if you get a house before 30, you're going to have your house for 30 years. You're going to get a 30-year mortgage. You're 28 now. You're going to have it till you're about around 60.
Yeah.
You got about 10 years left. And this is what this is where they get you. Most people pay their house off about around 58, 60. Mm-hmm. But then they say, hey, look, you got an asset. Let's do a refi.
Yeah, let's refinance.
And we'll give you we'll give you all the equity you got built up in it, and we'll refinance that for longer. Right. So your house is in a neighborhood where you bought $150,000 house, $200,000 house on average. You're in a good neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Hey, we'll get you a refi, so they get you into a second mortgage.
Because I'm not even going to live long enough to pay this off.
You won't, but the thing is, it's till death.
What happens to that debt?
Sometimes it goes away. Sometimes it stays. It just depends on how you got everything set up. And you know what? I actually want to get an attorney I'll be talking about future episodes a lot on this podcast, but future episode attorney that talks about which debt goes away when you die.
Hey, I work with a couple attorneys, and I'll
reach out to them.
Yeah, I'll reach out to
them.
So
we got the mortgage. Now we gonna say what kind of homes you looking at, because normally they'll give you a mortgage up to 10 times of what you earn. I think that's right. 5-6 times, something like that.
It's you closer to 10. Okay, so what I figured out is that comfortably I can afford about a $200,000 house.
So $200,000 plus the amount we let's do $175,000.
Yeah.
You know, just to be fair.
Yeah.
So $175,000 plus the other $52,000 that we talked about earlier.
Yep.
Puts you right at $227,000 worth of debt.
Yep. Before age 30.
Before 30. Now
that's scary, people.
Let's get to the last one, because this one is actually, I think this one. So between the mortgage and credit cards, I think these last two are probably like the biggest ones.
Oh yeah,
the biggest ones. The next one are credit cards.
Yeah,
credit card debt. Most people get a lot of credit card debt between 18 and 30.
18 and 30.
Because
I'm raising my hand again.
For one, when you go to college, they have tables set up to put you in credit card debt at a young age.
Shout out to Capital One.
So you end up in that credit card debt.
Yeah.
So let's just say that takes you to the $250,000, because with the compound interest, daily compound interest or daily interest, whatever they want to call it, daily interest on top of you having that money, you're gonna have, like on your credit card statements now, they show you how long you're gonna be in debt with credit cards.
Yep.
Some of them say 14 years, 16 years, and you just pay the minimum.
Yep.
So most people can only pay the minimum because most people live in paycheck to paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck.
So with that being said, do you see how debt, most people have about $250,000 worth of debt before they turn 30.
We just did the